Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of ABA with Vic. Now before we start with this week's topic, go ahead and click the subscribe button so every week you can keep updated with the latest videos of ABA with Vic. This week's topic is functions of behavior. One of the ways I remember the 4 functions of behavior is the acronym of SEAT. The S stands for sensory or automatic. The E stands for escape or avoidance. The A stands for attention. And finally, T stands for access to tangibles. Now that we covered the 4 functions of behavior, I'm going to provide some examples. This way you can determine if behaviors are either automatic, escape, access to tangibles, or stimulation for sensation. An example of escape or avoidance, the individual behaves at a certain manner to get out of doing something that he or she doesn't want to do. An example of this would be a tantrum, when you ask a student to do their homework, chores, or something that they don't want to do. By having a tantrum or crying, the individual has learned by crying or having a tantrum, they will get away from doing something. Another example of escape or avoidance is when you direct the child to eat their vegetables. Now typically children do not like to eat their vegetables, so what is the behavior that they do? They begin crying or saying, no, I don't want to. And one of the behaviors that we see after being asked or requested to eat their vegetables is tantruming or crying, as well as protesting. By protesting or tantruming, what the child hopes to do is to get away from doing something. So once again, escape or avoidance is when the individual behaves in a certain manner to get out of doing something that he or she doesn't want to do. Now for attention-seeking behavior, typically what we see in individuals is that the individual behaves in a certain manner to get attention from other people. The individual behaves in order to get attention from other individuals, such as students, teachers, peers, siblings, or even parents, or other people that are around them. An example of this is when a teacher is giving a lesson in the class and a student begins telling jokes to other peers so that they can laugh while the teacher is teaching. And by telling jokes, what the individual has learned is that if the individual tells jokes during class, they will get the attention. Now one of the functions of behavior that we see is the access to tangibles. Now an example of this is, let's say that the child is asking you to play a video game or play with the iPad. If you say, no, you cannot have access to the computer or iPad, if you're denying them access to a particular item that they're requesting, one of the responses could be tantruming, aggression, and by exhibiting these types of behavior of tantruming, whining, crying, or even aggression is because they want to have access. Now again, by either tantruming, crying, protesting, or even having an aggression behavior, what the child has learned is, if I tantrum enough, if I cry enough, or if I hit enough, I will get access to the item I want. This being an example of access to tangibles. And last but not least, the sensory or automatic stimulation behavior. Now what we typically see when individuals with autism is hand waving, stimming, or hand movement, head movement, hand tapping, biting, clapping, engaging in self-injurious behaviors, and many more examples. The purpose of sensory or automatic stimulation for individuals with autism is for them to find a relief by doing the behavior. What I have observed with individuals with autism is that sometimes they will either clap because they like the sensation of their hands clapping. I observe individuals move their head back and forth, and for them that feels good to them. And also I would just like to point out that sensory looks different across many individuals with autism. So just because an individual likes to clap their own hands doesn't mean that another individual with autism likes to do the same thing. They may like to do another thing that feels good to them. Other individuals might like to touch different things because they like the sensation of those different items. Once again, sensory looks different across many individuals. This week we went over the 4 functions of behavior. We learned about what is escape and avoidance. We also learned what is attention-seeking behavior, as well as access to tangibles. And last but not least, we also learned about sensory or automatic stimulation. We learned to distinguish the different types of behavior. Now, if you have a question or comment, please leave me a comment down below and I'll be sure to reply as soon as possible. Once again, you could email me at ABAwithVic@gmail.com, and also you could tweet me at #ABAwithVic. Now that's it for this week, and as always, thank you for watching.